Hi, how you all doing? My name's D McVie, and before we start, I just want to say thank you so much for jumping on the channel. It is greatly appreciated. So what you're going to receive in this channel is getting a large insight on my training, nutrition, water cuts, competition, travel, seeing actual other competitions as well. So you also see like sort of the backstage of that. With this first video, all you're going to receive is the intro, just a little very short and sweet introduction of myself, just for the people that don't know who I am. And then we're going to go into Atlas Endurance, which is in Edinburgh, Scotland's Strongest Man Masters, Scotland's Strongest Man Open Finals, and then we're going to finish it off with the Giants Life Hydro in Glasgow. And then between all these sort of little things, you'll see little snippets of my training. But then after this next video, it will be more predominantly just my own training, nutrition, and just build up to competitions. For the next video, it will be building up to OSG Worlds, which will be held in Texas. And then we've got the Arnold Ohio's, which is in Columbus, which is next year. And then we might throw in a wee powerlifting comp or two in between that as well, but we'll see what happens, see what tickles my fancy, as they say. So what we're going to do is we'll get in the intro, then we're going to go straight in it as well. So in the beginning, I joined the Royal Marines Commandos, got through the training. It was 32 weeks of training based down in Devon, then got sent up to 4-5 Commando in Arbroath, and I had the pleasure of serving in Zulu and Yankee Company alongside some of the best blokes I've ever met. Then I moved into bodybuilding after I left the Corps, done 5 shows, got them under my belt, but I realised the dieting and that just made me absolutely miserable, so I moved on for it pretty quick. Then competed in the natural scene for quite a long time, ended up winning World's Strongest Man under 80 kilograms in Finland, then ended up winning Scotland's Strongest Man under 80s 3 times and also the under 90s. Then won Britain's Strongest Man under 80 kilograms after 3 attempts. And then podiumed at World's Strongest Man under 80 kilograms in Daytona Beach. Then won Europe's Strongest Man under 80 kilograms after 3 attempts in London. Then won Arnold Europe's in Spain and also Arnold UK's. And then went to move on to winning UK's Strongest Man under 90 kilogram. Then won Pro Strongman League under 80 kilograms in California, which was mega hot. Moving into powerlifting, won overall Europeans in XPC in Poland. 2-time European champion in the GPC. 3 times Scottish champion under 80s, 82.5s in the GPC. And I done my ABS Pro AM invite, which was an absolute honour to represent Scotland. At that time I had the highest raw male dots in Scotland. A couple of trophies for Brits and Europes. Been on the Arnold stage as well, so that was a bit surreal. I had the pleasure of representing Scotland at the Arnold Ohio's in Columbus. Ed Cohen, the absolute GOAT of powerlifting. Obviously I'm very biased, Scotland flag all round. And a cheeky wee Charlie Bronson tash. And that was Radzi just interviewing me after winning Europe's Strongest Man under 80s. So yeah, to say the least, I've been around the block a lot, done a lot of wins, a lot of mistakes, a lot of travelling. I've been coaching for many years as well with my clients, which I'm very grateful for, and I just pass that experience on to them. Right, so we're amongst the real thing now. We are in Edinburgh here at Atlas Endurance, where some of the best Atlas stones and just stones in general are created, and this is like the background. This is the workshop where the Prince of Stones, Steve, does his thing all year round in the weather, so you can imagine how what it's like during the winter. But this is where all the madness is made. You can see here is a cross, but you're going to have to wait for Odd Objects Nature Walk UK, which are getting released at the end of the year. So this is us getting amongst it now. We're now in the HQ. This is the Dragon Eggs, which was made by Steve Stones. Really unique. So that was 80 kilo. Now we're into 90 kilo. Wee cheeky stone to shoulder now. Hand away. Stabilise. Cool. Then moving on. Last big one. 100 kilo stone. Pretty cheeky. Sure I got my toes a wee bit here, but yeah, it was on the shoulder, whatever. Then we moved to a natural stone, which is about 113 kilo, and all I'm really going to do is just focus on triple extensions, because we do have it at OSG Worlds for the final event, which is a little bit more different and unique. So I'm just getting that, trying to fire through, triple extend, work the posterior chain, and then the Ragnarok stone, which I like to call it. And we have, I think me and Steve have actually agreed to it, that we're going to call it that. 126 kilo. Roughly, like approximately, and all I'm going to do is just get a nice triple extension with it and have a feel it and then let go. So then we're going to get a wee run in with the stone to shoulder, sort of medley. Hand away, down command. Pretty quick there. Could have held it up a wee bit longer there. But I'm also getting down commands for someone in front of me. So I'm just going to go with it for there. There's a 90 up, down command. So now I'm just going to pace myself, get hyped up. 100 kilo stone. Waiting for the down command. Jobs are good in. And there's my down commander. Obviously, I'm just joking. I probably could have held it a wee bit longer. So, we are moving into this absolute behemoth of a stone. It's over 140 kilo. Unfortunately, my arms are very short and I've got quite a big chest. Probably not mechanically built the best to do natural stones, but here we are. But you can see me just trying to fight with it, trying to figure it out, because if I say one thing about stone lifting, it's a puzzle. That's what you're doing. You're trying to figure out the shape and circumference and the shape, like the size and all of it, but it just defeated me that day and I just had to go down on my shield, sadly.
What an idiot! Oh, what a loser! Good.
So I'm just going to give you a wee tour of the actual HQ. There's Cleo there as well, wee Saluki, Egyptian Greyhound. So this is where the place is absolutely immaculate. He's got so much interesting memorabilia over the years because Steve has been doing this for a very, very long time. If you are actually interested in stones, get to Atlas Endurance. There's all the dragon eggs, beyond unique, some Cerberus sandbags there. All your memorabilia at the back, Bishop, Andy Black. Look at the stones. You're not going to see anything like that kind of setup. Everything's just absolute pristine. Really impressive. You've got Alexei Novikov there, Mr. Graham Hicks, Mr. Luke Richardson, Shane Flowers, Gavin Bilton, Hafford Bjornsson. You know, it's all there. These stones were ran at the Scottish finals. Again, more Atlas Endurance. The 286 done by Tom Stockman with his signature. And also a replica of the Husafell signed by Hafford Bjornsson. But yeah, and also the blue ones, they were also ran at the Scottish finals. So Atlas is all just amongst it. So just into wee snippets of training. Like I said, I was just going to do this more content based on a lot of like sort of strongman stuff and not too much of my training. But these are sandball blast reps. So I'm just working on pickups and triple extension. Try to use that power in my quads and really get it firing. And then working on some front pause squats. Just working the quads, posterior chain, beltless. Working it really hard and then firing out the hole as quick as I can. Then going into some sort of monster dumbbell, which is approximately just over 70 kilo, which is about the second heaviest dumbbell at OSG ladder. But at the moment I've progressed to the 80, but this is what we've just got for now, and we've saved that for the next video, which will be coming. But nice and confident with this. Short arms, quite big shoulders. It just makes it a much easier. So now we're into Glasgow, and we're at Glasgow University, or in and around that area. Beautiful place, and we're going to be attending the GPC Night of Champions, which is powerlifting. So that involves squat, bench and deadlift, but I've just got my name down for the single lifts under 90s. But beautiful place. There's me drinking some tea. Just burnt my lip there, brilliant. And right in here, not in this hall that we're lifting, but I done Abs Pro M debut in here, and it was an absolute wild weekend. So this is the platform. As you can see, this is a monolift, which is sometimes used in comps. It just comes down to the federation, but you can see all the lifters here. Oh, a couple of really suspicious faces, but especially this one at the top. Aye, you want to be getting that guy's laptop checked, that's all I'm saying. So just doing a weigh-in, only need to be under 90 kilogram. I still just water cut it anyway, just because I was wanting to try to win the best male overall deadlift, which I did do anyway. But I came in at 87.75 if I'm correct. And it was quite hard to see there. But was satisfied with the result there. But moving into it, this is Rachel Greener, one of my friends. So we're going to show the squats first, some squats. Rachel is a very competitive strongwoman, also a very competitive powerlifter as well. So she sort of just jumps to and fro with each one. But all we're looking for is a nice bit of depth. And just listen to commands and having stability at the top and waiting to re-rack, and then you'll get 3 white lights at the top. But she does look quite familiar. But anyway, Mr. Colin Baxter, Big squat here, 307.5 kilo, which was one of the biggest squats of the competition. And he's just an all-round absolute gentleman, so he absolutely smashed that. And now we have Mr. Chris Clark, benching 130 kilogram. Nice solid pause on the chest, and what you can see is he's only got one bloody leg, right? But he is one of the most decorated disabled powerlifters in the world, and he's also now getting among strongman, so fair play to him.
That's got to be the best part I've ever seen.
So it would seem.
And here we are, is Alison Smith benching, I'm sure it's soft equipped, 155 kilograms. So she is ranked the #1 bencher in Scotland, and she is an absolute lovely person, and that was a solid 3 white lights. And just to finish off the bench, you got Mr. John Sutherland benching, if I recall, soft equipped, 230 kilograms, and there was way more there as well. Absolutely ridiculous. 3 white lights, and what you'll see is he's absolutely hyped now, and so would I be. But with powerlifting, if you're doing a record and you break one, you need an official just to check your kit, just to show that you're legitimised and it's official. And then what happens is the ref will grasp your hand and raise it to make it legit. So good on him. And now we are on to one of the biggest deadlifts of the competition, Mr. Liam Goldie himself. Very, very competitive strongman and very, very competitive powerlifter. And every time he just turns up, nice clean rep. 3 white lights, jobs are good in, but he's one of the strongest guys in the country. So I'm not going to bore you just because warm-ups are warm-ups, but this was my last warm-up in the warm-up area. I was 250 kilo, nice and easy peasy, wee shoulder shrug or whatever. So my opening lift was 265 kilo, and if I'm being honest, this was beyond reserved. But all I was doing is just, getting a wee bit zoomed in there. So I was just being a little bit, using it as sort of like my last warm-up, but you'll see how quick it moves. It's nice and easy peasy, and that's pretty much the first bar at Texas OSG Worlds. So all I'm doing is I'm just sort of trialling it just to see how it feels in a really, really recovered state, because I usually have got a lot of accumulated fatigue from training, but when I have a couple of days rest, we can see where we're at. So this is why I'm getting a bit of hindsight. So this is now 285 kilo. Unfortunately, with music and copyright, I can't play what I want, like I can't play the music, but I was playing Anvil of Chrome, which is used in Conan the Barbarian, which I absolutely love. But again, another 3 white lights. So final lift, a bit of ammonia. Obviously just testing that wooden wall that it was still stable by using my skull against it. So getting mega hyped up now. Again, I'm gutted I can't play the music because I like to get the crowd going and all that kind of stuff. It was a pleasure to be the captain for Team Scotland with the GPC, which we went to the Czech Republic by. This is 305 kilo for a new under 90 kilogram GPC Scottish record, and to be honest, it was about an RP9, so I cannot grumble, and I am pretty happy there, so sweet. And since I got some medals and all sorts of cool wee bits of memorabilia, I've seen King of Bling shop in Glasgow, so there we go. Right, this is something you probably no see, and probably everyone's thinking you're just going to see me just lifting absolute ridiculous weights. This is part and parcel of the journey as well as the training, is the recovery and mobility. So what you've seen there, I've just done some cross-body kettlebell RDLs. Now I've just went into some passive hangs just to open the lat muscles up, stretches the serratus muscles out, and just obviously just ease off on my hips. So what you've also got is kettlebell hip airplanes, just getting that mobilising the hips, which I would strongly recommend for any strong men, strong women and powerlifters. Work on it, believe me. And then we go into dual kettlebell swings just to work on that triple extension, getting that bit of blood flow, eliciting some calories, getting the heart rate up, feeling good, getting a wee endorphin release, but no kicking arse out too much. And then to final it off is some banded dead bugs just to get a bit of core activation. Very simple movement, yet very effective, so I would strongly recommend it. Now, I didn't get too much footage of Scotland's Strongest Man Masters because I was being a wee bit of a fanboy, because this is one of the best competitions you'll see in Scotland, because these guys are absolutely seasoned and veterans. But look at the trophy. That's pretty cool, isn't it? So you've got John the Machine Pollock, former Europe's Strongest Man Masters and actually podiumed against the Stockmans many years ago at Scotland's Strongest Man finals. And now you've got Mr. Andy McCulloch, who is Scotland's Strongest Opens Master 2024, but this time he's actually competing in the 105s category. But he's just obviously, he would have probably trimmed down a wee bit, but as you drop weight, you get a bit more athletic as well. And now this is, I'm not being too biased, but it's Andy again. But he's one of the most athletic, fastest Scottish strongmen I've ever met. But that these sandbags are 100 and 120, so just doing quite a straightforward steeplechase. Doesn't have to put over another platform, so you can just sort of chuck them as quick as you can. You'll see, he'll just toss it, he'll throw it in, he's not going to be nice with it, and then he got closure by winning that event as well. So no, the guy is not robbing a bank, but he has one of the most majestic beards I've ever seen, and he had to protect it, so yeah. Sorry that we moved on quite quickly for that. I only had a wee short clip of him, but he ended up winning his class as well in the over 50s if I recall. So yeah, good on him. And this is obviously just Andy doing the stone to shoulder, which weighed 120 kilo. Obviously that first rep, he just had a wee fimble. You know, there's a bit of dexterity and balance, which is due in this. But if you can see in the back, that big fella is Mikey Wilson, who's a multiple Scotland's Strongest Man finalist competitor. Just an absolute threat for the title. And then for your closure, Mr. Andy McCulloch winning the 105s and Leon Patterson winning the 40 plus. And then there's the crew and the athletes. So here's a photo of Liam Kelly, who I'm sure he just had knee surgery, ends up doing a circus dumbbell hold competition. Don't do that. So back into wee snippets of training. We're going to do some sandbag triple extensions. My wee short arms never help me with sandbags. It's an absolute nightmare. Great for pressing, but can be a wee bit of a spanner in the works at times for me. But all I'm doing is I'm just focusing on the things that need more work, the less stronger events. I don't really like using the term weaker events. We just need to get stronger at them and then moving on for there. So what we're doing there is some seated, pretty much Swiss bar or football bar presses. Requires a real lot of shoulder stability, a lot of power. You just need to be very careful with this kind of movement if you're going to do it, but it is a graft and I'm just trying to improve my log and get ready for OSG Worlds in Texas. And then the last movement is a zero formed and created by a gentleman called Zach Schultz, who is my coach as well. This is a tricep and forearm blaster, a really, really cheeky sort of like isolation movement, and it's very, very humbling. So now we're sort of in the back car park of the SEC, which I'm obviously clearly impressed there, and we're going to Scotland's Strongest Man finals, which I attend every year because it's one of the best competitions ever. So this is sort of, as they say, calm before the storm. It's obviously quite nice and empty now, but this will be a full house very, very soonish. Every year it grows and grows and grows, and it's great to see. And now, as you can see, the official Scotland's Strongest Man, which is your route to Giants Live. The top two get an invite as well to the Giants Live. So, and I'm sure, if I recall, Britain's Strongest Man, and that's your trophies done by official strongman. Very, very nice. And then you've got your holding bay, sort of warm-up area for the athletes. Everyone gets looked after, everyone gets their surnames on the back of the tops, and they always get looked after. So the lads are just getting a briefing here by Mr. Stuart Murray, who's ran it for many, many years. Just getting all the questions in and getting answers. And there's Mr. Danny Moore, absolute legend of Scottish strongman, multiple Shetland Strongest Man. But I'm going to cut it there and you can watch this clip. So unfortunately I couldn't get any of the events recorded because I was doing the live stream with a couple of people, but this is your main man here. This was your defending Scotland's Strongest Man Opens, Mr. Chris Beetham, who's been on the scene for a very, very, very long time, and he went down on his shield. And the absolute man mountain, Conor Curran, who placed second, who was a former Scotland's Strongest Man, 2023, gets silver, but just an absolute all-round gentleman, and good on him. Yes, I am going to be biased here as well. Bicep flex, guy is so vain, it is unreal, but I probably would be as well if I had the size of the arms he's got. You got Keldo on the back there, who does a lot of the MCing. Big voice for the Scottish strongman scene. Mr. Cherry at the back as well, former Scotland's Strongest Man. You can just see him a wee bit with the jeans and the white top, but Cal Crozier, Scotland's Strongest Man under 90s, Scotland's Strongest Man 105s, Scotland's Strongest Man under 120s, and now he is Scotland's Strongest Man Opens, and this has been overdue, and this is a really, really amazing moment because he's a good friend as well, and I've had the pleasure of competing alongside him a few times as well, but aye, good on him, mega proud. And there's a wee quick photo of me, Nicola and Keldo, doing the commentary, and that is a wrap for Scotland's Strongest Man finals. Every single year this gets better, so please keep turning up to it. Wee snippets of training, some snatch grip behind the neck press, obviously working on my shoulder mobility, good wee accessory movement just for helping my log and axle press, but again, if you're quite new to it, keep it quite light. Then moving in to behind the neck lat pull down, nice and controlled, quite solid concentric and eccentric phase there as well, having a wee pause at the moment, so every portion's getting worked on, no too heavy, just a lot of time under tension, respecting it. And then this absolute behemoth of a movement is one of the hardest movements I've ever done, so it's a seated neutral grip dumbbell push press. If you are going to do this and dabble with it, just really take it light and stabilise your shoulders before you do it. It's very, very humbling, and but it is an amazing passover into doing log press. So we were heading down to Morecambe, down to the MST HQ, but we're going through Keswick, which I would strongly recommend. Beautiful place, and as you can see here, I went to a fudge shop and got some chocolate fudge. Looks a bit like hash. Not that I know anything about that. So I didn't get too much footage when I was down at the MST HQ. Reason being is the place isn't finished yet. He's still adding more and more equipment to it, so I didn't want to. You want to sort of see the finished product, so I didn't give anything away. But we 150 kilo log there, and this is the main man here, Mr. MST himself, Shane, deadlifting weight unknown. I'm going to say. Arguably, or the best strongman coach in the world, coaches Tom Stockman, Luke Richardson, to say to say many names, but I've had the pleasure of being coached by him himself many years ago, and I'm very grateful because I wouldn't be the coach I am today, so thank you, mate. Couple of wee snippets of training, some Claiborne box squats, lot of triple extension. Like I said, I do so much triple extension because I'm trying to work on my sandbags, and that, just getting that power and that triple extension for the steeplechase. And then we're moving on to sandball pendlay rows. You can also do this with normal sandbags. You can do this with a Swiss bar, football bar, even a normal barbell, but I'm just doing this just to simulate that actual pickup that's going to be getting used on the steeplechase at OSG Worlds. So we're sort of coming down to the end of the video, so this is like the little left, the biggest bit for the last, which we're at the Glasgow and Hydro. I actually seen Slipknot in here as well, which was absolutely wild. So the contrast has changed a wee bit from Slipknot to a Giants live tour. So here it is here. This is me just walking through. It is so immersive. It gets so busy, especially the world tours as well. The Hydro is one of the biggest stadiums in Scotland, and we have the pleasure of watching some of the best and some of the strongest athletes compete against each other to try and get their qualification to compete at World's Strongest Man. So yes, I am biased, but here he is, Mr. Cal Crozier, again, your current Scotland's Strongest Man. This has been belated for a while, and I've been waiting a couple of years for him to do this, to be on the stage. He's absolutely ecstatic. He always gets the crowd going. I think he's maybe the lightest guy in the competition as well, but he's just, you know, you're in Glasgow, you're Scottish, you're going to be welcome, and he was also first up as well, so good on him, man. And the Polish Dominator that's coming up is Mateusz Kieliszkowski, 5 times Poland's strongest man, and unfortunately the greatest to still not win World's Strongest Man. But can he still do it? I do. As long as he can try and stay injury free, it will still happen. And the biggest and the heaviest competitor, Mr. Gavin Bolton, multiple times World's Strongest Man, UK Strongest Man 2020, UK Strongest Man 2021, and he's an absolute gentleman. He's ex-military as well. His mindset's just a cut above. And what we've done is we saved the best for last. Obviously, I'm not dating everyone's, but Mr. Tom Stockman himself won Scotland's Strongest Man a few times. He's a 3 times World's Strongest Man. Thought he was going to trip over there. Aye, but that's it. That's it. The albatross is in the house. So let's see what happens. So opening log is 170 kilo. You've got Cal Crosby and Ryan Bennett here. This is 10 kilo over Cal's current PB as well on a wooden log. The lighting can be disorientating as well. Unfortunately, Cal does not get the rep. Ryan does. I would always recommend wearing shades with this kind of lighting. I've had that effect for the Arnolds. But Ryan's trying to just psych him up a wee bit. Cal's just obviously just recomposing himself, decompressing a wee bit, and he's going to send it. But his conscience kicks in. It's not his first rodeo. He's going to reserve his energy and save it for the other events. Probably the biggest lineup you'll see here. 3 times World's Strongest Man, Tom Stockman, and 2 times Europe's Strongest Man, Luke Richardson, and both of them just press it with absolute ease. They're absolutely cooking on this. So this is Mr. Jack Osborne, who I'd like to say he is a log specialist. He is going to attempt a new British log record at 222 kilo. But you'll see his pickup, you'll see how high his elbows are. Just absolutely pristine and immaculate. Nice clean, pushing through, wee bit of balance, but it's just that amount of power. Got the down command, and there you go, as a new British open log record. Absolute standing, and absolute congratulations to him. Right, so we've got the load and push. Again, Cal Crosier's here in the house. There's also 3 people that are running this event, but I'm going to keep it on him. So it's 120 kilo anvil, 100 kilo tyre, and 140 kilo sack. And then you also have to pick the wheelbarrow up and also carry it that full distance that they've just ran. So again, Cal's one of the lighter guys, one of probably the more conditioned lads, because again, if you're really, really big, you're going to be strong, but conditioning can take also a bit of a kick in, where Cal does have conditioning, which I've witnessed many, many, many times before, and he's also Scotland's Strongest Man, so it's evident. You need to be quite careful with the tyre, just because it's rubber as well, it can also just bounce out. But 140 kilo bag, considering they just picked up another two implements there, that lactic acid is going to start but really building up now. You're going to be in an aerobic state now. This is where it's just going to start getting uncomfortable. Now he's going to pick it up. Grip, I don't think will be too much of an issue, because it's not going to take too long to get there. It's more just how are your legs feeling, your posterior chain, and just obviously your heart rate's going to be through the absolute roof. But Cal finishes it. Jobs are good and absolutely feral. Just outstanding. So you got Mr. Tom Stockman now. Again, definitely one of the bigger guys up there, just picking that anvil up like it's an empty tracksuit, as you do. Luke Richardson's obviously taking a wee bit of a lead there, but he's slightly lighter as well. Probably a bit more athletic, but you know, if you, just like in strongman, any kind of events, you're going to get events that are going to favour you, and there's going to be some events that are not going to favour you. I think Luke's just one of them. He's really good at moving events. So also is Tom, because he is keeping definitely up with him. But again, Luke's just so conditioned. But again, Tom always pulls it back with stones and all sorts of other events. But you can see here, Luke's just starting to create that momentum. He's absolutely focused, which is just outstanding. This is why he's 2 times Europe's Strongest Man, and he's in for the kill here. And then boom, there we go. I thought he hit his head there, thank God he didn't. And then Tom's done. And also the other gent. So the man you see here is Mr. Darren Sadler. No, he is not my dad. I probably wish he probably was. But he is the man behind Giants Live. So this is an interesting one for Cal. And again, I'm not gonna flog him too much, but you'll see what happens. He's got a 240 kilo duck walk. Decides to go the wrong way. Realises he went the wrong way. And then still holds his own, But obviously that mental state is probably just having that big kerfuffle, we'll say, in his head is probably throwing him off a wee bit. And then he's going to go into a 350 kilo chain drag, so his heart rate's going to start firing up right now. Because he's slightly shorter, for example, there, Tom's taller, so the chain's higher, so there's less traction on the ground. So he's going to be able to move with it faster. Taller guys just do better with it. If you're shorter, there's more traction on the ground. And then you've also got, where's Cal? Where is he? I saw my camera angles. But he does finish it. But he kicks himself here a wee bit. And he knows he's in the shadow realm with what he's done here. He's like, what have I done? But it's all fun and games. It's his first time at Giants. Still Scotland's strongest man, so who cares?
Disappointed!
So we'll get one more final run in. We've got Mr. Luke Richardson here, 2 times Europe's strongest man. Unfortunately, creams in here, but luckily he didn't actually hurt himself. Obviously his adrenaline will be absolutely through the roof there now, so he probably didn't even feel that, but he's got a great pace considering he did have a wee topple there. Flynn's sort of in the middle there with him as well, but if you look to the right, Nana, one of the lighter, most athletic guys, finishes it in the fastest time of the competition, but you can just sort of see it there getting finished off. So I'm not going to go into it too much with this. The wrecking ball hold, it's not just a grip event, it's a body event. It absolutely destroys your legs, your nervous system. As you can see, Cal and Gav, the lightest guy in the comp and the heaviest guy in the comp, just having a go at it there. It's just not nice at all. But Cal's holding it on, and I have experienced this myself at OSG Worlds. It isn't nice, and I would not recommend it. And then just to finish up with stones, Cal Crozier has gone against Maxime Bedreau, aka Wolverine. So he's a Canadian pro strongman who's seriously seasoned and very, very experienced. He's competed at World's Strongest Man. He's been in the heats. I can't recall if he actually did get to the finals, but he's earned his spot actually being there. But he finishes all the stones. I think unfortunately for Cal, he is capable of doing a 200 kilo stone, but because the height is higher than it usually is, it's quite a big ask considering the amount of accumulated fatigue he's got as well. But then you see Maxime finishing it off. It's not his first rodeo. And then Cal's, obviously, just due to the angle, I can't really see where he is, but he's going to appear in a second. If we just get a second, I think he's just trying to pick it up, and he's just like, nah, and he's raging, absolute raging, but he cares, he actually proper cares, so that's why he's so bothered. So now you've got Mr. Tom Stockman against Ryan Bennett. If I was Ryan Bennett, I'd be like, oh gosh, why do I need to go against this guy? But fortunately, Ryan's holding his own as well. But when you're against Albatross, and I don't want to sound biased because he's Scottish, but you know you're in for a big run if you want to try and chase this guy, because he's mechanically built just to lift stones. You seen how effortless that was. And Ryan just teetering on that last stone at 200 kilo. Just a lot of fatigue, and Tom's just trying to support him as well. He's trying to apply tacky now, but he's got time, but I think he's pretty cooked. But to finish on an under 180 kilo stone at that height is pretty solid effort. But Ryan's an absolute gentleman as well. So this was your last stone run, Luke Richardson against the flying Flynn. Unfortunately, Flynn misses the first stone there, which cost him dearly, whilst Luke Richardson is just pacing it. He knows what he has to do. I'm sure he was a few points clear anyway. But as you can see, Andrew Flynn's like genuinely like trying to catch up with him, and he is fast, he is athletic. Personally, if he didn't topple that, he could have maybe got him, but it was too late, unfortunately. And as you can see, when Luke puts that stone up, he just picks the crown up, pops it back on his head, boom. That's a flex. So yeah, but fortunately Flynn finishes the stone run as well. And that's your closure of the Giants live at the Hydro in Glasgow. So 2 times Europe's strongest man, Luke Richardson, has now earned his spot at World's Strongest Man. I have no doubt he's got the capabilities of winning this. And just to seal it off, this is a meet and greet after, where a few people have paid a couple more pennies to have the opportunity to meet the athletes after the comp. But that is Jobs are good on with Giants Live. So that's a wrap on the first video. I hope you liked it. As you can see, I'm still trying to get an idea on like edit stuff and make it a bit more crisp and smooth, but we'll get better as we continue with this kind of stuff. So yeah, I would really and greatly appreciate it if you liked it, but most of all if you can subscribe and just send the word, just try and say something nice. And for the next video, you'll see the preparation and the build up to OSG Worlds, which will be held in Texas. So thanks again and have a great day.